Innovation is in our veins. Soon the whole world will know our names. Sharing our knowledge and freedom reign. We here for the people, you know it's our way. Setting foundations is part of the dream. It doesn't matter if you're new to the game. Listen up now, cause we all gon' say, elevate, 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 higher, elevate, 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 higher. We gon' rise up, we all gon' shine. Work through adversity, stay on the grind. Elevate, elevate, this is our time. Elevate, elevate.
Welcome to the Elevate Podcast, everyone. It's so great to have you all on one more time. It's your boy, Josh.
Dalton.
And we're grateful to be back on with you again.
Another week, baby. Virtual, remote. We all have COVID.
That's exactly what's going on. No, your boy's down in Maine on a half vacation, half working type of situation. But we can't go a week without giving you at least an episode and giving you some love. You know what I'm saying? So this week we talk about tech layoffs.
We talk about real estate market updates.
Biden denying there's a recession.
And Tiara Mack running for re-election.
Oh, baby. It's a spicy one.
Man. And a couple wild cards and, just a little spicy episode, man.
Yeah, we're absolutely here for it. It's, dude, this is like the first, usually it's funny how it's the opposites happened. I'm used to hearing my voice through, the headphones. Now I'm not getting that now, and that's actually throwing me off.
Yeah, I know. It's, every time I've done it remote, I'm usually like sitting on a floor with my laptop, like on a bed. So that way I can like get the angle right. And I'm like, this is not like being in the studio. It's not the same.
No, it's definitely not the same, except for I love it here. I'm surrounded literally by forest and trees. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm grateful for it. But it's been a wild time down here, man. Maine's interesting, man.
Dude, I know. I saw that in the notes, and we can leave it till you're ready to talk about it. But you haven't even told me about it, so I'm stoked.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just start off as a little intro. As I said, I'd kind of we'll kind of update the homies a little bit. So yeah, I just came down here. Obviously my in-laws do live down here, and it's just been, I'm not gonna lie, ever since all the stuff that's been going on in Canada and things just being weird, it's been interesting kind of like enjoying another country in a different way. But yeah, like where we're at is very much Americana, left, right, and center. But we're in like a nice little beach town, which is cool. But like everyone's got an American flag, and everyone's got the American beach towels and the umbrellas.
Oh, they're patriotic, baby. They'd hate me, my unpatriotic Canadian self.
Yeah, they hate you. They love the 4th of July down here, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like just like there's just been wild times. Like I've been realizing Americans just feel things just 10x levels. Because yesterday we went to Chipotle.
Love it.
And here down in the States, food shortages seem to be hitting a little harder down here. Oh. So we get there, and there's a sign on the door that says, we got no chips. And I was like, oh, okay.
Not the chips.
And I was like, dang, yeah, exactly. Not the chips. And then we go in, there's like, oh yeah, we have no tortillas either.
Oh, they're a burrito place.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they also didn't have any lettuce, something along those lines. Anyways, so we wanted to sit outside because it's been ridiculously hot out here. Like it was been 45 degree weather here. Humidity's just been unreal. And so I got a spot outside, and so my wife and her brother and her brother's friend all go in to get the orders in, and I'm just keeping it locked down outside.
Yeah.
And before you know it, they come out, food comes out, and then literally as soon as they all come out with their food, they put like, we're temporarily closed on the door. They ran out of everything.
Y'all ate them dry. You took everything.
Yeah, straight up. They closed at 9:00, and at this point in time, it was 6:30. Everything was gone.
No.
So we were sitting outside right next to the door, and it was the best moment of my life, dude. It was terrible, but all at the same time, it was great. Everybody I saw come up to the door, and I knew it was going to come. They pull the door, and then they look at the sign, and it's like, it's closed, but they see us with not even
With
touched
the
food
food.
yet. There's like, how is this? What do you mean it's closed? You guys are, everyone's eating outside. So, like, people were so distraught, dude. Like just the way their faces dropped after a long day at work and looking for their Chipotle.
No
and it's
Chipotle, man.
one, no kidding, dude. I couldn't believe when I saw it. One girl literally started crying.
No.
This was her 13th reason, man. It was over for her.
No.
It was over. It was bad.
No. You know what? I've had days where I could cry if I didn't get like the supper I wanted. You know what? Maybe it was a rough day for her. It had to have been.
Yeah. Must have been,
God,
dude.
the humility to just break down in front of a Chipotle.
Absolutely.
In front of another family eating the Chipotle that you can't have. Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's awful.
I love it.
And I mean, I don't know what's gotten into me since being down here, but like I've kind of gone right into like Josh Udall without any type of filter moment. And like there was a woman that came up as well who had her full like military outfit on, and she goes and pulls the door. And I was like, no, not our veterans. Can't do this to our veterans.
No.
And she was like, I know, right? And she goes to her car. Then another guy comes up. He pulls. I was like, it's a sick world, man. They don't care about you. And I was chirping everyone like by this door. I don't know what got into me, dude.
Dude, I love it.
But here we are.
Rest in peace to that Chipotle. Never have they recovered since.
No, absolutely not. Actually, I got a photo I got to send you guys. I'm going to send it to Philip right now because this was funny. This is something else in this beach town that I didn't really fully understand. Okay. But there's this, like, again, it's a nice, like, again, it's like a, I don't know, trying to explain. It's like not like the most elevated, quote unquote, or like the most beautiful, you know, beach town I've seen. It's like kind of like a rustic feel. Like it's definitely like, you know,
right.
I'm trying to, it's just like one of those spots, but it's still nice. Okay. But there's this like part of town where there's this like boarded up building.
Of course he's Greek. Who am I, Spiro?
And you can zoom in a lot of that stuff. It used to be a pizza place apparently here in town. And he just kept getting into fights with the town of like what he could do with his building and his property. Yeah. And so he said, you know what, screw off. And he's like, he still pays his property taxes, but he just leaves the building just in shambles on like one of the nicest parts of the town. Yeah, it is in shambles. Dog, he's like the guy that owned that restaurant out in Sackville that like died on his grave. Exactly. Like about oh my God, what was it? The COVID restrictions? Same thing. Yeah, he stubborn old Greek man. The vaccines. Yeah. Yeah. So similar thing where this guy just like, you know, he didn't like what they were telling him to do with this building. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep paying property taxes so you can't take it away from me. But I love it. I'm just going to leave it in shambles. As soon as my brother-in-law pointed it out to me, I was like, the Dalton voice went through my head. And it was like, that man is iconic. He is iconic, dude. You know what? If he can't have it his way, no one can have it at all. Amen to that. No pizza for all. That's right. I love it. But yeah, so it's been a wild time up here, and so that Chipotle thing was interesting, and yeah, it's been a good time though. I'm enjoying my life down by the beach. God, oh man, absolutely. Especially given like the weather's been sick. Like I heard it's been nice and hot back there too, eh? Yeah, so nice. So being near beach would be dope. Mm-hmm. Dude, I heard it's been like, I don't know if it's true, but has it been like uncharacteristically hot in Nova Scotia the past, week or so? Yeah. Oh yeah. We had a heat warning for like 4 days. Oh really? Okay, so that hit everybody then. Oh yeah, it was nuts. I mean, it was like 38 with humidity one day. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was brutal, man.
It was also supposed to rain over the last couple of days, and it just hasn't.
Oh yeah, we've been promised rain for like a week. Oh gosh. We had thunderstorms. We had lightning without a drop of rain.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like
that's impressive.
The rain just is not coming, and I wish it would because it is humid here, and it's just like man, the people who work in like, I guess that's my other beef is why did restaurants not have AC in their kitchens? Like they'll always say like closing due to no air conditioning, da. It's so strange.
Because the ventilation just doesn't work. For the ovens, everything else.
Because it would just push it right outside. Okay, that actually makes really good sense. Yeah, man, but I feel bad for them. Rest in peace, and big thanks to anyone who's working in the kitchen right now while I'm ordering Uber Eats from my air-conditioned apartments.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that hot there. I thought it was just New England thing, but that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I guess the whole East Coast.
Spicy. But yeah, market updates, man. More layoffs have hit.
Yeah.
We have hit a second quarter of declining GDP, which is by definition puts us in a recession, and real estate is. I mean, you saw that RBC article this week, where they're predicting a 43% correction. I think what's the number they're putting out?
43, I think was their combined. It was for this time next year we should see 42% is what I think it said.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think that's what it said, but this is their what would you call it? Yeah, they call it downgrading our forecast because previously they didn't think it was going to be that bad, right?
Correct. Yeah, they actually put out multiple articles that they kept trying to play it off like it wasn't going to be a big deal.
Yeah. And I
which
think usually even said,
is,
when the media says it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah, usually it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they do it too is not instill panic in people too early on. But here we are, and that's the problem too. I find is if you're going by the news and media for your just your day-to-day information, or your financial information, you're going to find out things way too late. I find. Because because they're always reporting from a defensive stance. So RBC's just coming out with this now. Well, in the past 6 months, maybe you bought a house that's about to start tanking. Hopefully, hold on for a while, right?
Exactly right.
So it's tough. I'm already I've said it a billion times. We've been kind of passively / actively in the hunt for a house, and it's crazy. The houses that we've been looking at trying to purchase have remained on the market. And I'm like, for example, there's a house we were looking at. We really kind of wanted to find a fixer upper, and there's one house we're looking at was selling. We're asking 300 for it. That was back in mid-June, and now it literally just dropped its price down to like 250.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So that's kind of and I'm starting to see that across the board. Obviously, the ones that don't get taken are they're slashing their prices
by
considerably.
$50,000.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Why do they need to sell it so bad?
People have their reasons.
Wow, that is interesting to drop $50,000 as your first reduction.
Yeah,
they must have a lot of wiggle room.
Oh, exactly. And there's also I have a connection in one of the major banks who's doing some underwriting for them.
Yep.
And they just let me know that I think in the past year they said something along the lines of 60 to 65% of all new mortgages, whether it be renewed or just brand new mortgages altogether, were all put on variable mortgages or variable rates. So he's predicting this time next year that things are gonna this time next year is gonna be the time to buy because things are gonna fully be in collapse mode because people cannot afford these interest rate hikes.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Whew.
So there's your market update, y'all.
Yeah. Be ready, guys, because we've been saying this for how long now? It's coming. It is going to be blood in the water. And that number of variable rate mortgages, that hurts to hear.
Yeah. I was just before we hopped on today, I was watching a video by Graham Stephan, and he was going through kind of the calculations of what it looks like when variable keeps going up.
Yeah.
And I think he said pretty much the calculation is if you got in at 3% and your mortgage is increased to 5.5%, 6%.
Yeah.
You're effectively now your payments are almost double what you initially were.
Yikes! And I think the scariest part about that is we probably all know someone who bought a home based on the payment, not on the cost to own, And so they just say, this is what I can afford a month, buy as much house as I can for it. And now what happens when interest rates go up, jobs, we're talking about this episode about layoffs. That's a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for bankruptcy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm feeling for people as much as for people who are seeing it from an investment perspective, it's gonna be great for them.
Yep.
But we've talked about it I think we've been talking about it for close to 6 months now. We've been talking about this.
I know.
And the big thing is just it's real families are gonna get hurt through this. Real people are gonna get hurt through this.
Yep.
And I don't we're gonna as we said, we're gonna talk about layoffs later here shortly. But real people are gonna get squashed.
Yep.
And I just want to be in a place myself where I can at least help. I want to make sure I have my life vest on before I start helping others, right? So
1,000%. And it's this is not about marbles. This is the biggest purchase of most people's lives, now potentially jeopardizing their entire financial independence. And it could be you can't look at someone on the street and think, oh, they're fine, oh, they're probably not. What I mean by that is, it could be your uncle, it could be your best friend, it could be your teacher, it could be anyone that may be suffering or silently suffering in debt, and that's terrifying.
Yep, exactly. So I just put the message out. Just keep an eye on your finances. Be wise. Don't do anything out of your means, especially not right now. And if you can, you make sure you've taken care of yourself and your family so that you can be in a position to help others when things start hitting the fan.
Exactly. Yeah.
And because you're right. There's a lot of people who got the variable. And a lot of people do it based on just they do it out of a strategy where they know it'll go up, it'll go down, and over time they will have made back money rather than if they just locked in at a rate.
And that's generally true in the past. Outside of these dirty times, that is true.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm one of those. I always will pick variable every even in this market. I choose variable. Yeah. Every day of the week.
Yeah.
But as you said off the top, people have chosen variable because of the payments they're looking at.
Yes.
Which is going to put them in trouble, you said, right? And so, yeah, that's
big
a tough
time.
one.
Yeah. Now may be a good time to actually live on cash. And generally speaking, I'm a huge opponent to living on cash. I think if you can manage a credit card, using a credit card generally is better. There's protection, there's cash back, whatever. I just think there's good reasons to use a credit card. But man, it can get out of control quick on a credit card because it doesn't even feel like your money. It's so easy to spend. Uber Eats, Uber Eats is going to take me out. The recession is not going to take me out, dog. It's going to be Uber Eats because I'm oh yeah, Uber Pass, quick delivery. You sure add that $9.99 a month now. Tip, sure. I wanted to get here quick. That goes into something we're going to talk about later. And then all of a sudden, your Subway sub is $33.
Dude, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, personally, I will never touch Uber Eats because of that reason. Because of it just feels like the fees keep stacking up just for a $6 meal.
There's two lines. It says delivery fee. Then it says taxes and other fees. And you can click into it. Then there's tax, and there's just another service fee on top of the delivery fee. Oh my gosh, man. It's nuts. And if I saw that money come go to my checking account every month, if I used a Visa debit, it would hurt a lot more than if it just came off a Visa bill. Oh, I only have to look at that once a month.
Right.
I can just pretend I'm fine for a month.
Absolutely. No, it's funny. When we came down here to the States, that was our strat. We just pulled everything out in cash and we're just all right, when this runs out, it runs out. We're not doing anything credit while we're down here.
Yes. Yeah. Well, especially, if you're traveling, make sure you check your credit card because you could get hit with, foreign currency fees and everything. So, yeah, meaning over limit fees, if you're just shopping while you're in the States, a lot of people go to the States to shop. Yeah. Those fees add up, and there's interest on those fees, and they start right away.
Wait, there is? Shoot, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's a charge. Oh yeah.
I'm being facetious, but yeah, I get you.
Oh, dog. I feel like that's not facetious. People don't know how credit cards work.
There's be a time that I would argue with you on that, but I agree.
Oh, you used to think like people definitely had it figured out.
Dude, I mean, we've talked about on this show multiple times. Like, I just genuinely have like such a deep hope in humanity.
Yeah,
and
I know
over
what
the
you
past year, that's definitely dwindled as I've seen just how like people do dumb things.
Yeah, it's true. And in the same breath, I'm not speaking to the people, especially if we have American listeners who are like putting healthcare on a credit card or are buying things for, that are a necessity. I get it. You got to live, but if you're chucking Uber Eats on your credit card twice a day, dog, I Uber Eats 3 meals yesterday. Like, that's nuts.
That's 3 delivery fees, bro.
That's nuts. No, of the past, I just pay $9.99 a month. See, that's where they got me.
They got you subscribed.
Dog, I'm easy to be sold to.
Dude, no kidding. I have a business I want you to invest in for me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure. Just take my credit card. Do you take credit card? Do you take American Express?
100% every time.
Oh,
yep.
Great. Great. I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, the subscription model is wild because, like, I mean, the Cineplex tried to do this before their deal fell through.
Oh yeah, right.
But down here, we went to go watch Nope last night, and the movie theater there, you paying $15 a month, you have unlimited movies at the theater.
That's like a good deal.
That's a great deal.
$15.
$15, man.
Yeah, Phil just said 2 movies and it's worth it, and that's the truth.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Granted, theaters down here are cheap in the first place.
Yeah.
Like we had we did the VIP experience with these huge chairs that kick out and
aren't they
all the
comfy?
stuff with them. Oh, they're beautiful. And like that was to see a movie like that was this cost of a normal fee back at home in Cineplex, right? Like $13.
The cheapest way to see a movie is if you go buy this stupid coupon from Costco, and then it's like you have to go to Costco to buy this big old coupon, and it's the only way it makes the movie affordable.
It's true. It's true. It's brutal up there. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting. So back to the subscription model. But you hit something about the healthcare for Americans, man.
Yeah.
So, dude. So I know we've been hitting healthcare a little bit. This person I was hanging out with the other night volunteered this story to me, and I thought it was the most wild thing.
Okay.
But it shows you the desperation people have for healthcare, right?
Okay.
So a friend of ours, anyways, or at least I guess an acquaintance of sorts.
Yeah.
I was talking about how they're getting married next month.
Oh.
And but they don't actually love the person they're getting married to. It's just a friend of theirs. And that they're doing is they're getting married so that because the person has like some severe health issues,
right?
And so they're getting married so that person can use like the other person's health insurance.
Oh,
and then when it's all done, they're annulling the marriage and going their separate ways.
Oh, you know what? That friend deserves everything in life.
100%. I thought that was so gangster.
That friend, they better sign a prenup.
They're signing everything.
Man, what if that turns like evil? What if the friends actually goes for like 50% on one half?
They get all the gifts and they get greedy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, imagine. But you know what? That's one, hats off to that friend. What an icon. But second, the fact that that's the length that we're going to now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just marry your friend, get some health benefits, annul it, move on. Yeah, you don't have to talk after that.
Especially the state they live in, like to annul the marriage is like $20. Done.
I love it. It's like a Vegas wedding, baby.
It's straight up exactly what it is. So anyways, I was like, dang, it's man, they be wild down here, dude. But
wow,
have a good old time. But back off to things that are tough issues. Big layoffs happened at Shopify this weekend.
They did huge layoffs, and
10%.
That's nuts. 10%. And did the CEO take a $20 million pay raise this year?
I don't know if it was a pay raise, but they took $20 million of something.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. The execs took $20 million of something. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yikes.
That hurts, eh?
Yeah, $20 million. There's no way 10% of the companies. Well, it's a big company, but I still don't think 10% of the company's payroll was $20 million. No way. No,
No
way.
No, it's it was funny. I actually Dan Price tweeted something out just before he hopped on tonight, and I was like, you know what, fair play to him, man. So this tweet says, so a $700 billion bailout for the banks, an $80 billion bailout for the auto industry, a $50 billion bailout for the airlines, and a $3 trillion Fed bailout for the stock market are all quote unquote capitalism, but unemployment checks are socialism.
Gee. Gee, that is true. Yeah, wow. That's true.
Exactly. I hate crony capitalism. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And that was a staggering that last number that you said, 3 trillion to stock market bailout.
Oof.
Wow. What even is
Just
$3 trillion?
Seriously, apparently it's nothing because I just made it up out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just printed it.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Wow.
And the crazy part is we say print because that's just the legacy system we were handed down, but it's just a stroke of a keyboard and boom, $3 trillion just exists in the system.
Yeah,
So,
it's just like you just go into the database of like the Federal Reserve and just say, "Now this is what it is." Like it's not even it's not even real.
it's an Excel sheet.
Yeah, it's an Excel sheet. Oh my god, it's a Google sheet.
Yeah, straight up. They get a kickback for it. No, if Philip, you want to pull up that TikTok link. This is a young woman who is a part of those tech layoffs at Shopify.
Yeah, I saw this today.
It's tough.
It is. I do have something to say about it though. Typical me, but
Of course, let's go.
So Shopify had a big layoff this morning, and I've been there for 3 years, over 3 years now, and I was impacted by the layoffs. So today's my last day there. It's so heartbreaking to me because I was really dedicated to staying there for my career as long as I could. I just really loved the company. I felt like with the 3 years experience there, I had grown so much and seen so much creatively being in a design role there. Yeah, I've been laid off before. When I worked at a company, we had to close our doors, but I've never been so shocked. It's never felt so impersonal. I understand it's a big company, it's a big layoff. We're an organization, profits come first, but I'm completely shocked. And it just feels so personal only because I loved the company so much and I just felt safe with 3 years of experience where the company grew a ton in the last 2 years. So I just felt like for them having the layoffs because they basically hired too many people, I thought that they would have, maybe had the people that were hired only in the last 2 years since that hyper growth phase be let go. So the fact that that wasn't put into account is just really shocking. But yeah, my thoughts and prayers go to anyone impacted by this layoff or layoffs in general because holy cow, it's really personal and emotional, and it's such a huge part of my life. I really eat, sleep, and breathe like the mission of Shopify. I love small business, and yeah, it was such a pillar of my life. So here's to a new day.
Yep. Here's to that. Tough break. But the reason why I just wanted to run through this just because as much as we can, before we start, critiquing or getting to the bare bones of it, as you said at the top of the show, there's some very real people behind the stuff that we're about to see in our lives, whether it be food shortages, layoffs, people losing their homes. There's real people behind this. And to the young woman behind this TikTok, I know she's in the design industry, obviously, and the reason why I'm going to put this at because Shopify is a big part of the Canadian economy. They're based out of Ottawa. Yeah. And I work in Halifax, but we're also the company I'm with. I'm also a UX designer as well, and we got employees across the country. If she comes across this, feel free to apply. We are hiring a bunch of designers right now, so we're extending that one out. We're lucky enough to be in a place where everyone else is cutting back. We're growing, so yeah.
I love it, dude. 100%. These are real people, and I think my critique that I maybe misled is not about her, actually. I think it's actually really impressive how much people give their jobs. She obviously really cared about what she did. My critique is with Shopify because I dug into them a little bit today and learned that the people who make it as long as her are basically the people that they could conform to eat, sleep. She even said it, eat, sleep, breathe the company's mission and values. Like, they don't want people who aren't workaholics. They don't want people who turn off their phone. They don't want people who set boundaries. They want these moldable people who become so involved that they feel like maybe they get to go home from work at the end of the day rather than they go to work in the morning. And you know what I mean? It's like so strange. And I just think for anyone who is employed, always in the back of your mind, remember that if the business demands it, they will fire you. So do not break your back over it.
Absolutely, and we love, the camera overheating on you and that beautiful soliloquy you threw.
Dog, I am buying the replacement, and I found it on Amazon, the dummy battery. I'm buying it. So
let's go. We need it. We need it.
Rest in peace, everyone watching this episode. You're just going to be listening.
Yeah.
Not much to watch on my side.
Yeah, I guess we can't really use anything TikTokable moments out of this one. But you're right. I think that's the one thing I learned from my last workplace, or 2 workplaces ago, is I did break my back for the company. I gave my all, did everything I could, and first chance they got, they wouldn't give you a pay increase because that was apparently they didn't make enough that year, even though we kept doubling profits. And then secondly, when it was time, they said you got to go. And they laid me off, in the middle of the pandemic. So, that it's just like what I learned is that exactly what you said is I have to, establish boundaries, establish what's best for me.
Yep.
You always just look out for yourself. Do not put a company above your own well-being.
No, you are not your work. You are so much more than your output productivity level at work.
100%. No matter what they make you feel like or make you believe.
Yeah.
It's all at the end of the day. It's all about a paycheck and it's a transaction, no matter what is said.
And when you go to interviews, you are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. Especially if you're tenured, 3 years experience at that point, that you've been in a role a long time. You've got that under your belt now. You can start looking at employers and saying, that didn't sound right. That culture is not going to match my vibes. You don't sound like you're going to take boundaries very well. They don't get to even enjoy your presence again. Life is too short. And, Shopify in the end of the day showed their true colors. They probably wouldn't have done this person right in the end anyway. So
yeah,
maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Everything does happen for a reason, I suppose. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. I mean, she brought up a good point as well, and I've seen this across businesses across the board. Is like everyone's profits swelled throughout the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, not everyone, but anyone in tech, I should say, profits swelled. And
especially Shopify, they power like every e-commerce ever.
Yeah. No, it's exactly like that. Like they were essentially like the mechanism that helped people get through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Or help businesses get through the pandemic.
Yep.
And then they can turn around and now like, you know what, we hired too many people, and we're just gonna axe them all. And I know that's a strategy. All businesses, I shouldn't say all, but many businesses do it. They just like hire a bunch of people, get what they need to get done,
yep,
and then just fire them without blinking. Yep. I remember like that was a lesson I learned early on as well. I worked for somebody who didn't believe in that, and they always I didn't know why, but they always scrutinized every hire because they didn't want to have to fire them. They wanted to scrutinize everything they would do, what it would be all about, how they would help.
Yeah,
and if they saw a future for them past like a year.
Yeah.
If they didn't, they wouldn't hire the person. So yeah, man, it's like it's tough for people, and we're there for them as best we can. We get it, but as well, I've said before, I've done videos on this years ago. I did videos on this of at least as a designer what you can do to make yourself more valuable, so you're not subject to layoffs, or at least less likely to be laid off due to the lack of skill or due to lack of demand for your skills, I should say. And it's just making sure you, as we said before, like you master a lot of different things. So it makes it harder for a company to part ways with you.
Absolutely.
Especially at a time like this. Obviously, right now, that advice may not be helpful because now's the time when these layoffs are happening.
Yeah.
You should have been doing this probably 6 to 8 months ago at least.
Yeah, you should have listened to us sooner.
Yeah, you should have been on the show. No, and but yeah, so that's just kind of like we'll put that out. Just these are lessons you need to learn. That we need to figure out ways that we can make ourselves the most valuable to our companies so that we can maintain employment during turbulent times.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Speaking of, again, my experience of being in the United States of America, Tiara Mack running for re-election for state senator.
Yep.
In Rhode Island. And this was her, if they see it, click on the first TikTok link there, Philip.
Okay.
This was her campaign ad.
This is her?
Yep.
Okay.
Vote Senator Mack.
Oh.
And so the media tore her up. It's like, is this someone who's actually running for politics is twerking on camera for votes?
Oh my gosh.
And she got so upset, dude. She was like, how dare you shame me for twerking? And so she went on Twitter. If you hit that second link, Philip,
Yep.
she went on Twitter and just scroll through those responses.
Oh, wait.
Hashtag.
Oh, go through the subtweets, you mean, the comments?
Yeah, the subtweets, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hashtag twerk for joy. Wait, that's iconic. Twerk for abortion justice. Twerk for intersex justice. And twerk for trans rights.
Twerk for them all,
Unbelievable
boys.
thread. Keep doubling down. Maybe it'll help your career ambitions after politics. You might need moves like that.
Oh, no. People are savage. But I was cracking up, dude. The fact that she doubled down on this and did a whole actually created artwork for 4 different things that she should be twerking for is hilarious to me.
Wow. She's running for re-election?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That's iconic.
Bro,
wow.
If she somehow she wins, oh man, that says a lot about her constituents, I guess.
Wait, her artwork is iconic. Hashtag twerk for joy. It's just a bunch of pictures of people twerking. The white ones are upside down. How is this allowed?
Right? I couldn't imagine.
Not
as
because
much as
anything. Listen, I don't care what you put on the internet. I just mean in a political race.
Yeah.
Why is this?
How can you get away with that?
Yeah.
And the fact she we're just twerking upside down by herself on a beach, thinking, "Hey, I'm gonna film this, and it's gonna be a great idea."
And then I'm gonna use it for my marketing campaign.
Yeah. Vote for me.
OMG. I wonder. We'll have to bookmark this. And when's the election done?
Good question. Let's find out.
Tiara Mack. Oh no, it doesn't say there.
State Senate race in Rhode Island. I think it's somewhere in September, October.
So she's got a couple months to run this campaign.
Yeah. For Rhode Island.
You think she would put that somewhere on her little donation website or?
Yeah, just a little bit, eh?
My campaign is all about
November 8th. So November.
So she's got from now, and she's going to be twerking right into the holidays. And
twerking for Thanksgiving, twerking for turkey.
Yeah. Twerking for turkey, dog. Oh, my God. Stop.
Dude, we should. That's going to be a sticker.
Stop.
We got to make that. We got to make that twerking.
We got to trademark that.
Absolutely twerking for turkey. Let's go.
I am. Yeah, you know what? Listen, great issues that I think she wants to fight for, and I think, she should, but odd way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, people can start their career with the most obnoxious stuff on the internet.
That is the truth. Big time.
Apparently, I don't know how true this is, but I saw a tweet where it's the Island Boys are apparently making a horror movie now.
No. Oh my gosh.
All you need is to be obnoxious and people will know who you are, and anything you do from that point on will be like, oh, that's that person.
Wow. You know what? And maybe this is her exit out of politics. Maybe she's like, I just want to become popular on Twitter so I can kickstart my next thing. Maybe she's calculated. I think either way she's calculated. Either way she knows what she's doing.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go. Oh yeah, Dalton can't see me, but yeah, there you go.
Were you twerking for joy?
I was twerking for turkey, bro.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Josh, please.
Let's go. I'm in for it. I'm here for it.
I'm over here talking away while you're...
Philip's just like, what is happening right now?
Oh my gosh. OnlyFans tryouts on the Elevate podcast.
Straight up. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Gee.
Subscribe, please.
Yeah, please. We need it.
Yo. Oh shoot. But yeah, so I thought, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is America.
You know what? Go off. And that's the thing. It is the home of the free, baby. So she can do whatever she wants.
Yep. God bless.
Yeah.
God bless.
And have fun with that.
Oh, seriously. Yeah. And speaking of, American politics, so Biden outright came out based on this New York Times article.
Which is just crazy.
He straight up said that he insists there's no recession as he confronts the latest economic risk. Well, if we look at the stats here, the definition of a recession is a significant, widespread, and prolonged downturn in economic activity, because recessions often last 6 months or more.
Yep.
One popular rule of thumb is that two consecutive quarters of decline in a country's GDP constitute a recession. We've officially hit that. U.S. GDP was a negative 1.6% in Q1 and negative 1.2% in Q2, which is the official definition. We've hit it of a recession.
So he lied.
That's the thing is like PolitiFact fact checked it for us. Thank you. God bless them. And they said that the people have been claiming that he's been trying to change the definition of recession.
Oh.
And in which case he kind of has. This has always been the rule of thumb. It was like 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth is a recession. Doesn't matter how short or long it is. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
But he has come out and said, well, it's just like it's a certain amount of time that constitutes a recession. We're not there yet, so he's telling us how long it's going to take to be in a recession, essentially.
My gosh, come on, Sleepy Joe, wake up! I'm a little speechless, and I think it's because I've been talking about this lately, just like outside of the podcast, where it's like when you're a kid, you are so unaware of like the real world. You are so naive. You're just having fun playing. The summer times are fun. Then you hit an age like 20, basically around 20, when I started like noticing. And now it like deeply scares me when politicians bend the rules to make it look like something bad's not happening. To me, maybe it's just who I am as a person. I want people to just straight to the point, cut the crap, tell me what's wrong. And I think a leader should do that, to warn of what's coming and to help people protect themselves. But instead, to say there isn't a recession, this is how I define it, that is sneaky and sleazy in my opinion.
Absolutely. No, and it's, like, as you said, it doesn't help people. Like, we're seeing it now. We said, we talked earlier in this podcast about things you could have done, 6-8 months ago to kind of help you in a turn if layoffs were to happen, or if real estate takes a turn.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's talk about 6 months ago. Real estate was still bumping.
Yeah.
Everyone still had their jobs. Now we're here 6 months later. People are losing like jobs, no tomorrow. Real estate's taking a nosedive, and it's only going to be worse over the next 12 months. And now we are just hearing talks of a recession. And the government is still saying, nah, it's not really happening. Everything's good.
That is nuts, because 6 months ago, you and I were saying we're in a recession. Like, it's coming. It's like almost here, basically. That would have been February. We were nervous in February.
Yep.
And now here we are, and the government is, like you just said, it's going to happen. As if, the world's not falling apart by the very mechanisms that held it up, which was employment and real estate, it seems like, in Canada at least. And they're gone.
Yeah.
They're not gone, but they're dying.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like we just, saw this TikTok with this one young woman who's, lost her job. But you're going to tell me a recession's not happening.
I know.
like I think it's like close to just across the tech sector across North America, I think has laid off close to 10 to 15% of workers.
Oh yeah.
It's bonkers, you know, and
Yep.
and obviously it's hitting tech a little harder than others just because tech, well, definitely needed a huge correction because the money people make is unreal. For example, we don't get paid like this in Canada, but I found this out while I was down here. As people with less experience than me, half my experience, working UX down here in the States are getting paid $180,000, $200,000.
Gee.
And I was like, bro,
Canadians do not get paid like that.
definitely not. I was like, where's mine? Where's mine? You know, and so I mean, if you look at that, I know what I do. I mean, the market says the market down here says I should be paid 180, 200. I don't personally think that my labor is worth that much. But that's what I mean. The tech sector definitely, I can see why it got hit so hard, is because it did need a serious correction because like salaries were ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like it's obviously starting to hit other places too. We've talked about it, right? Like we talk about how there's food scarcity coming through the farming industry, how there's going to be fishing scarcity through fisheries. Like the dominoes starting to fall, and we just we continue to talk about it. We consistently talk about it just because it's a consistent thing where you need to constantly try to prepare yourself through it. As I said, keep buying a little extra at the stores. Keep trying to make sure you're leveling up your skills so that you can stay employable, and making sure you make wise real estate decisions, because now is not the time to get your dream house and overpay for it.
Not at all. Not even close to the time.
No.
Yeah.
I'd wait 8 to 12 months is what I'm waiting for now.
That will give people who are over leveraged enough time to sell, and for unfortunate bankruptcies to begin.
Yep, exactly.
That is the truth.
And those who listen to the show, that's gonna be your opportunity to get her going and pick up those houses.
Yeah.
So there's some who are predicting as much as a 60% correction, or it just seems like the number keeps increasing every day. I think RBC released that number as well.
Oh yeah, RBC's released 4 different articles I think on this though, each with different figures. So,
yeah, exactly. So my mistake. It wasn't 60, it was 40. So it was around that 40 to 45 range.
Yeah.
Which is like incredible. You see, let's just do the math quickly on that. A house that costed say $800,000 4 months ago, is now correcting down to 480.
Sheesh.
That's a big jump.
Yikes, dog. So, wow. Yeah, that'll take people out. Because there are people who were balling heavy in the middle of the pandemic. They had tons of money, real estate. They put it all in. Interest rates were so low. Dog, that bubble's going to burst.
Yeah. And I think that's what hurts the most. Because you get to that point, right? If you're on those variable rate mortgages, you get to the point where you keep trying to keep your head above water, keep treading water.
Yep.
And then eventually it catches up to you and you can't afford to make the payments anymore. Then you got to sell.
Yeah.
Well, now the issue is you paid, you have a mortgage of say $700,000.
But the market's not going to pay you that.
Yeah, the market's saying, nah, that thing's worth about $490, $500, sir.
Yeah.
The
other half doesn't just magically disappear.
Exactly. Where's that 200 G's coming from, right?
Yeah.
That's what we talked about. That's where bankruptcies happen and things start falling apart.
Or you just have a mortgage for a home you don't own while you go rent somewhere cheap.
Yeah. Oof.
Yikes.
That's tough.
Yikes.
That's tough. That hurts. And so I think that's stuff I've been reading too, is, the real estate market is going to be hit a lot harder in Canada than it is in the States from what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Which I'm not surprised. Look who's leading, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so you spend money like crazy. Even all this stuff that's coming. That's the thing that's been bothering me of all these childcare checks that they're putting out now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, you don't learn. It's like we've created all these issues, and we're gonna give you the solutions by giving you more money to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. But here we are.
Dog, it's like we're like a broken record, we've been saying this for so long, and now it's starting to happen, and I'm like, yikes! I didn't actually want this to happen, because it's just I don't see a nice way out of this. For people that I care about that are gonna get screwed.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's yeah, I think you hit it on the head. Like I do feel like a broken record. I feel like I've said this time and time again. I feel like people are bored of hearing it. If it, to those who were wise, this is in a sadistic way is good news.
Yep.
And to those who just didn't know any better or decided to kind of do things, just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
They'll start worrying when CBC starts talking about it. I feel for you.
Yeah.
I'll still be here to help wherever I can. But I feel for you.
Yeah, me too, man. Rest in peace to the homies.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeehaw.
Man.
Well, guess we'll make a nice little transition to something you feel very passionate about in these days, and that's tipping.
Yeah, man. Tipping culture.
Cow tipping?
What? Oh, stop. Yo, cow tipping. No, but it is about tipping culture, I guess, just in general when it comes to like delivery apps for food or groceries. This specific example is for Instacart. This was the first time I ever saw this, and we do have the screenshot because I thought to take it at the time. But basically what it says is I went to go tip for the first time, and I've done this every time. Before placing my order, I put a $0 tip in because I don't tip until the service has been performed. Maybe that's the new anomaly. But anyway, I get an actual notification from the app that says orders with tips are claimed faster. Shoppers can see the tip amount before they accept a batch. So they're prioritizing the orders that they take based on how much tip they're supposedly going to get, even though tips can be revoked on the app. So people could just trick you and give you a big tip and take it away. I think the part here that bugs me the most is why is Instacart just not paying their contractors appropriately so that way everyone's orders get picked up? We also pay for this Instacart subscription because that's how we get all our groceries. And we're supposed to get, faster pickups, faster deliveries, da-da-da-da-da. So why is the speed of service dependent on me to tip? And I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is a story I heard once upon a time. It could be an old wives' tale. I don't know. I thought it made sense. But I can't say if it's true.
Yeah.
But back in the day before tipping culture was a thing.
Yeah.
This is back in like the old mob days. Is you'd go into a restaurant and you would kind of flash a stack of money to your waiter or waitress to ensure that you were taken care of.
Right.
And so that's what I was told, is that actually tips was actually an acronym for to ensure proper service.
Right. I've heard
which
that
I thought
as
was
well.
interesting.
Yeah, my dad always used to say that. Yeah, to ensure proper service. Yeah.
So I find this whole thing with Instacart kind of falls into that. However, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because I am kind of like you. I'm like, I'll tip you after I see the job you did.
Because
see if it's worth you getting extra money.
Exactly right. Especially where it's like, what if something comes and you forgot something? What if you ended up being rude? What if all these things? That plays a role into your tip. I think there's this expectation that just because someone did a job that doesn't pay well, and regardless of whether or not you provided the full service, there's a tip to be expected. You're 100% wrong. There are people I know who will tip at a restaurant no matter what, even if the service was absolutely awful.
I do, yeah.
You do?
No, I do know people like that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And I think it's, luckily, I mean, I don't really have anywhere where I've gone where I'm like, wow, that was so bad I can't tip.
Right.
That's few and far between. But when they happen,
happened once to me.
Yeah, it's happened once to me as well. And I think I just think this is a sneaky way of Instacart to put the onus on its users to pay its employees.
But yeah, no, I agree with you, man, on that. It does seem weird.
Yeah,
and it seems like a lazy way to get around actually taking care of your drivers, because like we all know, we've seen it at this point. Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber. These are actually failing models of business. And we're starting to see it, right? Because Uber is actually not a profitable business. It never has been.
Yeah, Uber has never ever made a profit.
It's very similar to Twitter. And it's funny how all these like huge companies came out of the '08 crisis who actually never turned a profit.
I know. They just got funded, and
like the fact you've lasted 12 years, 14 years on just borrowed money is so interesting to me.
And the fact that they've lasted 4 years public, blows my mind.
Dude, it's bonkers, man. I don't get it. Like people really kept hoping like this will turn around at some point. It'll be all good.
Yeah, I sold my Uber shares a long time ago.
Fair play. We don't have a sustainable business model, but we'll keep funding you. Yeah.
It'll all come out in the wash. It'll balance itself.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Shoot. Oh man. Yeah. No. Exactly. So I'll be interested to see what happens with businesses like Uber, Instacart, Uber Eats, DoorDash, all of them. Like that's like, it's just such a, when people don't have money anymore to lavishly throw on service fees. I'll be interested to see what happens to these companies.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, what's the first thing that you can correct when you're running out of money? Eat at home.
Yep.
That'll be the first thing to get cut, I think. I hope.
Yeah, at least I hope. Yeah. Hope people are smart enough to do that. Yeah, that's wild, dude. And we'll kind of finish off with one last piece of note. Neema Naz, man, great comedian, up and coming comedian in Canada, based out of Markham. He blew up on TikTok, and he was one of those guys I was nervous about, where he would be really funny on TikTok, but like his stand-up is kind of like
Yes.
But like he's proven that he's actually a really good stand-up comedian. And the cool part is he said it himself. He was doing stand-up long before TikTok ever came around. So that was good for him.
Dude, but yeah, his TikTok rock. I think he's hilarious.
Yes. He is so funny. He just headlined, opened up for Russell Peters on his tour, which is awesome. Good for him.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's Canadian
huge.
Tire Center. At the Canadian Tire Center.
That's an NHL huge. Arena. Yeah. So that's great for him. I'm gonna finish this one off as Dalton's camera dies to get on us. But so yeah, because it's a funny story. My sister ran into him at a bar in Toronto. And and like he was actually super nice. He bought them all drinks and bounced.
What?
Yeah, he was just like, it was a good night. Bought them all drinks and just left.
What an icon.
Seriously, and the coolest part is he really is taking Gary Vee's advice, I'm realizing. Because later on, my sister messaged him after he renounced his tour, and so she wanted to go to one of his shows as a thank you for the drinks. And that she'll go to one of his shows. And she's like, can you just do one favor? And he was like, sure, what's up? He's like, can you just roast our boyfriends for us? Because they're going to be with us.
Right.
And he was like, what are their names? Gave him the names and everything. So he's like actually writing a bit specifically for them at like his specific show in Toronto.
I love it.
Just hilarious. So I want to see if that ends up panning out. She'll message me and send me some stuff, see if it all works out. But I thought that was comical.
I love it, dude. Don't expose it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'll be curious to see what happens. But we love you all. So whatever it is you're doing, whether you be enjoying the back forest of Maine,
or you be dealing with this looming recession,
or ordering Uber Eats.
Oh, true.
Whatever it is you're doing,
wherever you are,
keep twerking. We're out.
Peace.